us solve this together, we are going to solve it in two different ways. I mean, we use two different methods. First, let us write the equation again. So we have square root of 6x is equal to 6, right? Okay. Now, we use two methods. So let me try to bring one on this half. So we have, let's move this one here. Okay. So I'm going to put a line in between here. So we are going to work with two different methods. So the first one, with this method, we will square both sides, right? So we have square root of 6x, let's square it, is equal to square root of what? 6. Okay. Now what do we do? Sorry, square root of 6. Now what do? We know from the rule in maths that if you have a, square root of a squared is the same as a square root of a times what? Square root of a, right? And this is equal to what? A, right? Because if you have square root of a is the same as square root of a times a, which is the same as square root of a squared, and the square takes away the square root, which gives you what? A, right? Okay, now that you've gotten that, let me go straight to our equation, which so we would use that same logic here. So now, because it's squared, we'll write square root of 6x times square root of 6x, right? That is the same as square root of 6x squared is equal to, now 6 squared is the same as 6 times 6, right? Okay. So now, after getting this, we know that if you have the same number squared multiplied, we get what? The same number as I showed you earlier. So now we have 6x is equal to 6 times what? 6. Okay. We now proceed to divide both sides by what? 6. Okay. And this 6 will take care of this. So we have x is equal to, this 6 will take care of this 6. So we have only one 6. So we have 6. So therefore, our final answer is 6, right? Okay, so now that we know this first method, so this is our first method. So first method. Now let's go to the second method, right? So with our second method, let's write the equation down again. So square root of 6x is equal to 6, and we are finding what? X. Okay, so with this, what we'll do is that we'll try to break the numbers down, right? We'll break these numbers down to make them easy for us. Now let's see, we have a rule in maths that says that if you have, for instance, a, right, square root of a multiplying square root of b, it is the same as square root of what? A, b, right? Okay, you've understood what I mean, right? Because we are going to use that same logic with this. Now, let me clean it. Okay, so this square root of 6x is the same as square root of 6 times square root of x. Okay, if you multiply this, you get this, right? Okay, now you will remember that we also said that if you have for instance, following the rule in maths, if you have square root of a multiplying another square root of a, because they are the same, is equal to what? A, right? We use this in this rule. I hope you remember that. Okay, so we are going to use that same idea with this 6 here. So square root of 6 times another square root of 6 is the same as what? 6, right? Okay, now we can see that we have 6 here and square root of 6 here, and we have square root of 6 here and that's square root of 6 here. Okay, so what we'll do is that since we are looking for the value of x, what we are going to do is that we will divide 2 by square root of 6, square root of 6, right? So this will take care of this, then this will take care of this, right? Okay, so now after doing this, we can say that we have square root of x is equal to what? Is equal to square root of 6, this 6, right? That's it here. Now what do we do next? We can say that we can now square both sides, right? So let's write our square root of x here squared is equal to square root of 6 squared, right? Okay, so this square root, this square here will take away the square root, right? And then this will also take away this, right? Before I write the final answer, let me tell you the reason why this square will take away the square root, right? So let me write it down here. So if you have, for instance, a square root of a, right, it can be written as a raised to the power 1 out of 2. Okay, so if let's say you have a square root of a squared, right, it is equal to a raised to the power 1 out of 2, right? And with this, you can say a raised to the power 1 out of 2, and then this power 2 also, right? So these powers, these 2 here, can take away this 2. So you have what? A raised to the power, you have a raised to the power 1, okay? And a raised to the power 1 is the same as a, right? So we are using that same ideology here where this x squared, let me work it further. Let me show you here. So this x here can be, this x, square root of x squared here can also be x raised to the power 1 over 2 times the exponent 2, right? So it takes away this. That's why we'll have what, x. So let me just write it here. So our final answer will be x is equal to, this square root will also take care of this. So we'll have 6. So your final answer will be 6. So you can see that this method, this second method, is kind of different from the first method, right? So these are the two methods you can use to solve this question. Thank you for watching, and please make sure you subscribe.